Happy April Fool's Day. Coming off another winning day. Let's talk some more baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we're back to talk some more Seam. That's right. We started out 3-0 on Monday. We were on a 6-0 run, and then the last two bets just could not come through. But still, winning day, 3-2 day. We'll take it. 6-2 run now in the last 2 days. So let's keep it rolling. Anytime, like I said, you can be profitable early on in the MLB season, it's a good day. So quick reminder, NBA Best Bets video will be out after this one. Be sure to go check that out as we had another winning day there in the NBA. So Outlier, any graphics you see in this video are from an app called Outlier. As you guys know, I use this every single day. It's the best betting research tool on the market today. Click that link below for a 7-day free trial. So let's get into it with an MLB fun fact. Here we go. Rafael Devers is having a historically bad start right now. He has 15 Ks in his first 19 at-bats to start this year. In 1995, Tony Gwynn had 15 Ks in 585 at-bats. That is absolutely insane. In this video, though, we're going to recap that winning day yesterday and then go over the good and bad hitter matchups. And then, of course, give you the full pitcher report, end it with the best bets and the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button as we're on our way to 40,000 subscribers. Appreciate all of you that hit the like button and leave a comment every single day. Really helps the growth of the channel. So let's get it started. And that means it's recap time. All right, there it is, the 3-2 day. We start out the Mets minus 1.5. What a beautiful grand salami by the Polar Bear, and then they kept adding on. They absolutely crushed them. The breakout day for their offense, I was hoping was that day, and it absolutely was. They crushed them. Ben Brown over 5.5 Ks. This is one of the late night ones that hurt. Through only 3 1/3 innings, he had 5 Ks. I just needed one more. He could not get the job done. It just is what it is. It happens in baseball. Under 4.5 runs, first 5 innings. Never really a sweat at all on this one. And then the Giants scored in the 6th inning. So luckily, we just took the first 5 innings. But that was a nice winner there. Stephen Kwan over 1.5 HRRs. There's a reason you don't see me doing a ton of hitter props right now. Hitting and predicting guys who are going to get hits at the beginning of the season, still getting their timing with bad weather, all that kind of stuff. You're probably going to only see maybe one here and there, but he just did nothing. Just absolutely nothing. Nothing else I can say. That's what happens in baseball. And then Bowden Francis, that's right, to record a win. Plus 145, a young pitcher that I'm high on this year. I added this, and he came through. The Blue Jays offense came through, and they held the lead for him. Plus 145, banger. Gotta love to see that. So a nice winning day. 12-11 overall, down down 0.16 units. We are practically break even right now. Obviously, as you know, we're just doing half unit plays as we kind of get some more data and all that at the beginning of the season. So that's what we got for the recap. Now let's talk the hitter matchups. All right, here are the 9 best hitter matchups today. That's right, there's not a ton. Starling Marte, 5 for 15 with a home run versus Sandy Alcantara. He just went deep on Monday. That was a beauty as well. But Jorge Polanco, you won't see many Mariner hitters up here, but here he is, 5 for 14, 2 home runs versus Casey Mize. And then you see Mookie Betts there, 4 for 12. Manuel Margot, 4 for 9. Over there on the right side, again, not huge sample sizes and not great matchups right this time. At least for the good side. So Lars Newbar, 3 for 8, just had a good game yesterday as well. And then Yordan Alvarez versus Logan Webb has a home run and 3 for 7. So that's what we got for the good hitter matchups. Now let's take a look at the bad hitter matchups and Pete Alonso, the guy we were just talking about. How about 5 for 32 with 8 Ks versus Sandy Alcantara? Obviously, Sandy Alcantara, however you want to say the last name. He is an absolute stud. Brandon Nimmo, 4 for 30 with 6 Ks off him. And then you go down the list. Chris Sales on the mound today again. Teoscar Hernandez has struggled with 7 Ks. All the way down to Aaron Judge. Obviously been absolutely annihilating the ball. But he is 0 for 7 with 3 Ks versus Corbin Burns. So that's what we got for all the hitter matchups. Again, the pitcher strikeout matchups will be coming as more data comes in. But right now, let's head to the pitcher report. All right, here are the first 7 matchups of the day. Nathan Eovaldi, we got some guys making their second start. Actually, one of them is making their third start, but these are all the numbers from last season. Obviously, he gave up 2 earned runs in 6 innings in his first start, and he also had 9 strikeouts, but now he's going to a big-time hitter's ballpark since he just blew open the doors yesterday against the Rangers. Going up against Carson Spears, it was not pretty for him last year. Let's just say that. Low K rate, gave up a ton of hits, 11.1 hits per 9 innings. And then Kodai Senga, that's right, Senga is making his return. He threw 5 innings last year. That's it, 5.1, and now he's finally back. He is a big piece of this Mets team. That's a great matchup facing Sandy Alcantara. Obviously, he had a one start already. He pitched 4.2 innings. He gave up 2 earned runs, 7 Ks, but he had 4 walks. A little rusty after missing all of last year, but still an absolute stud. Shane Baz versus TBD. That's right, no pitcher yet for the Pirates. And then Baz obviously was a pretty good pitcher, average numbers last year, but 3.06 ERA. Corbin Burns making his Arizona Diamondback debut. They paid him a ton of money. We're going to talk about that game a little bit later, though. And Trevor Williams, who had a surprisingly really good season, 2.02 ERA, just limited hits, limited hard contact. And then Jose Barrios, who already let us down once, with a high 4.62 expected ERA last year. And then Simeon Wood Richardson, pretty average pitcher, did decent last year, had a good season. And then Michael Lorenzen, who also had a pretty good season for the Royals, going up against Patrick, a guy who has no stats for the Brewers. So that's what we got for page 1. Again, all the averages are on the bottom to help you guys out. And just kind of give you all the info for all the matchups for the day as you start your betting. So let's check out page 2 now. We have 6 more matchups here. Kyle Hendricks, how about that? He is now an Angel, and he is not very good. Let's just face it. He doesn't miss bats. He doesn't throw hard. He gave up a ton of hits. He is at the very end of his career. Almost a 6 ERA last year. It is not pretty. He will get hit against Matthew Liberatore. I'm hit and miss on him. He's kind of, you never know what you're going to get from him. But Logan Webb, much better pitcher on at home than on the road. So we'll see how he does on the road here against Wisniewski, who was with the Cubs last year. But Webb, gave up 3 earned runs and 3 walks in his first start. And then the the lefty, Logan Allen for the Guardians, did not pitch well at all. He's another guy who can get absolutely rocked, and he's facing a good offense in the Padres, and Michael King. So big advantage there for San Diego. And then Gilbert versus Mize. Hopefully Seattle gets back on track. But Gilbert, obviously the ace of their staff. And then Justin Steele, surprisingly making his 3rd start already, and he has already struggled in both starts going up against the Athletics. And then Chris Sale, the Braves. Profar now suspended. Braves have not won a game. They're getting beat again. Anyways, they have their Cy Young on the mound, facing Dustin May, who is one of the top young prospects, and then he got hurt and did not pitch at all last year. So he hasn't pitched since 2023 when he had a 2.63 ERA. So that's what we got for all the matchups and all the research help. And now it's time for the best bets. All right, this first one takes us out to Yankee Stadium, where the Yanks host the Arizona Diamondbacks. D-backs on the money line, -115. As you can see there, Yankees -105 and a total of 8 runs. Pretty much a pick 'em here. I'm picking a side, and it's going to be the first 5. Give me the D-backs, first 5 innings, money line at -120 on DraftKings for a half-unit play. Now, these two offenses are absolutely rolling. The D-backs scored 27 runs in their 4-game series versus the Cubs. They're an offense that we expected to play well. Second best batting average and slugging so far. Great at stealing bases. They do the job. Yankees, holy cow, scored 36 runs in the first 3 games. Absolutely teed off against the Brewers. I know everyone's talking about those fat bats, but these two offenses can swing it. The difference here is a huge starting pitcher advantage with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Corbin Burns, you guys don't know, he's been a stud, been the ace of the staff for a very long time. Went to Baltimore last year and then got traded to Arizona. He's going up against Will Warren. I'm just going to talk briefly about Warren. He's only thrown 22.2 innings in the major leagues, 10.32 ERA, 1.9 whip, small sample size. You can't just say this guy's a 10 ERA guy. Obviously, that's pretty high. But I've seen him pitch before. He's nothing special, but we'll see. Maybe he all of a sudden has something. But he's going up against Corbin Burns, the big new signing, a proven ace. He's dominated opening day for the Orioles last year. His career, 3.19 ERA. He's an elite ground ball pitcher, and it's important to be a ground ball pitcher when you're in the wiffle ball park that is the Yankee Stadium. 50.7% ground ball rate, 88th percentile. Great cutter. Very familiar with these hitters. And in fact, some of these guys in this lineup, Aaron Judge, 0 for 7. Jazz Chisholm, 3 for 14. Bellinger, 4 for 18. Goldie's had some success, but still just 10 for 31. And again, Goldie's not the same hitter as he used to be. So overall, I'm keeping it simple. We got 2 red-hot offenses. One team has a massive starting pitcher advantage in the D-backs. I'm still just getting -120 on the money line on the first 5. I like that one because, again, if we're tied after 5 innings, it's a push, and we don't lose. So the only way we lose is if the D-backs are losing after 5 innings. I think they can get the job done. Corbin Burns can finally slow down this offense. Give me the D-backs on the first 5 money line as my first best bet. All right, this second one takes us out to the minor league ballpark where the A's host the Chicago Cubbies. Cubs on the money line minus 135. There's all the run lines, and the total is 8 runs. My best bet, it's the over of 8 runs, minus 116 on DraftKings for a half unit. Again, this first part of the year, they do not allow props to come out very early, so it's just not a ton of props the night before. So we're going to go with some totals, and this one I really do like. This is not the old Oakland. This is a little bit more of a hitter-friendly ballpark, as we just saw yesterday with the Cubs putting up a million, like 3 touchdowns almost. But starting pitcher matchup here, Justin Steele versus Luis Severino. Justin Steele, a guy I thought would actually be decent this year and kind of find his old form. It's already his third start of the year. The only guy who's making his third start already, and it's been ugly for him. He gave up 8 earned runs and 11 hits in 9 innings so far, only 7 Ks and a couple walks. And if you go back to his last spring training start, 10 hits given up, 7 earned runs, and 3.2 innings. It just has not been good for him overall. And then Luis Severino, he looked good in his first start, but again, it was against my Mariners. If I stretched and prepared for a few weeks, I could get a few of those guys out. And also, it's the most pitcher-friendly ballpark in baseball, so you can't just judge him off that one. I've seen him enough. He's got a decent stuff. But really what it comes down to is he doesn't miss a lot of bats. So there's going to be some chances here. Offenses, the A's are better this year than most people think, especially the top of their order. Lawrence Butler, Brent Rooker, all these guys. They do have some pop, and they even got some guys at the bottom of the order doing some things as well. So I don't think they're that bad like last year. And the Chicago Cubs, they scored 26 runs in the last 3 games. They have 16 right now as we record against Oakland. Tucker is absolutely raking. This is a deep lineup that can really swing it right now. They look really good. So I think both these offenses can get to these starting pitchers. And then the bullpens, I think the A's bullpen's gotten a little better from last year, but I think their biggest problem is just trying to get to Mason Miller. I don't think they have a ton of guys in between. And that's where I think the Cubs could also get some runs as well. And obviously, Mason Miller is usually just going to be in at the end of the game if they're winning or something. Cubs bullpen, I think they're going to be around below average over the course of the season, so we'll find out what there is. But it's just not a bullpen that's going to blow you away or anything. In this minor league park, I like there to be runs. Again, a 4-4 tie here guarantees us a win because obviously you can't end in a tie. This is not soccer. So give me the over 8 runs as my second best bet. All right, this third one is a hitter parlay. That's right. Give me Kyle Tucker and Fernando Tatis Jr. 1+ hit each, a plus 105 on DraftKings for a half unit. It's not out on FanDuel yet, so maybe you get better odds there. But I did see it on DK. So let's talk with about Kyle Tucker first. He's absolutely raking right now with his new team. He has 1+ hit in 5 of the 6 games this season. He is 8 for 22, and maybe one more on bat coming tonight. I'm not sure, but 7 for his last 14. And he also crushes righties. How about a 305 batting average versus righties last year compared to 262 versus lefties? He's facing the righty Luis Severino. We just talked about him a little bit. Struggles more versus lefties as well. He gave up a 269 average and 440 slugging to lefties compared to a 216 average and 323 slugging to righties. Obviously, we already talked about he doesn't miss a lot of bats. On top of that, Tucker should get some chances against this weaker bullpen. We already broke down this matchup a little bit. I'm going to ride the hot bat there. So second one. Speaking of hot bats, how about Fernando Tatis Jr. hitting 467 this year? That's silly. Definite MVP candidate. He's back to playing like the guy we expected. Once he's not distracted by anything off the field, he has as much talent as anybody else in the league. He has 1+ hit in all 5 games, 2+ hits in 3 of the 5, and he is facing Logan Allen, the lefty. Now, Tatis has hit righties better in his career, but Allen is a lefty who is just not good. He is no bueno. Almost 6 ERA last season. And here's the deal about Allen. He gets crushed off righties. How about giving up a crazy 306 average to righties with a 574 slugging? It was batting practice. Let's just face it. That's what it was for righties. He had a 5.20 ERA at home. Still terrible, but guess what? He's on the road. How about a 6.39 ERA with a 294 average against on the road last year? It was brutal. We got 2 really hot bats here. Give me Tucker. Give me Tatis to get 1+ hit for plus money. That is my third and final best bet. Again, as more props come out in the morning, and obviously we still got to do an NBA video, but be sure to check the pinned comments below for added plays on X and on Discord as well. But before we get out of here, let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. The 3 best bets so far. The Diamondbacks first 5-inning money line at minus 120 for a half unit. Over 8 in Cubs and A's minus 116 for a half unit. And then we end it with a hitter parlay. Kyle Tucker and Fernando Tatis Jr. 1+ hit each at plus 105 on DK for a half unit. More plays will be coming in the morning, so be sure to check those pinned comments, X, and Discord. Thank you guys for listening. As always, if you haven't already hit that like button, I would appreciate it. But hope you all have a great Tuesday, and we'll talk to you soon.